Getting to the heart of the matter. Back to Guy, Ben, and Frank with more Inside the News.
Welcome back to our second segment of Inside the News. Glad to have you with us. And we want to shout out to all of our radio affiliates and to the AUN TV network and all of our viewers on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching us. Hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, that like button, and then hit the bell for future notifications when we come back with another episode. Thank you so much for tuning us in on YouTube. Really a lot of fun. If you have not looked at us on YouTube, look us up. WBV Inside the News. All of our past programs are there. Frank, you're going to be up first with the foreign policy here. Capitulating with Iran, is that now possible?
Well, it certainly is. If you look at the mysteries of the Obama administration, one of the unsolved mysteries is the Obama administration's relationship with Iran. Iran is certainly the center of much evil on this planet. It is the chief sponsor of terror. It has openly declared death to America. It openly states that as soon as it gets nuclear weapons, it intends to use them on the state of Israel. For reasons that have yet to be understood, yet to be explained, President Obama tilted away from Israel, away from other allies in the Middle East, and towards Iran. The Iran nuclear deal, I love these names like deal or accord or understanding, was a treaty. A treaty, according to the United States Constitution, has to be given the consent of the United States Senate. President Obama failed to do that. He failed to even present it to the Senate. He simply called it an agreement. Barack Obama and his tilt towards Iran never really passed any kind of muster, either in the news, either in the minds of the American people, or in the Senate. Now, Joe Biden wants to do two dramatic things. He wants to go back to that failed Iran nuclear deal, and he wants to sign on to the Paris Climate Accord. The Paris Climate Accord is also a treaty that was supposed to be agreed to or denied by the United States Senate. What this is all saying is that Joe Biden has no intention of governing as a real president of the United States. He is governing essentially as an authoritarian. We talked about the optics of those military troops in Washington. Take a good look at that. That's what this country is becoming. The legislative branch is kicked out. Fair elections are not happening, but the military is surrounding the leadership in Washington, D.C. Wake up, America.
You know, it is interesting, Ben, that he is going to be ruling by executive fiat, very much like Obama did when, and I like that Frank said, these are deals, these are accords. No, these are like treaties. However, if the Senate does not sign them, then that means another executive order can kind of get us out of this deal or treaty or accord, which is what happened with the Iran nuclear deal. Trump got us out, says this is a bad deal. We're done. The art of the deal. And Ben, some of your expertise in that area, you're just kind of shaking your head going, yeah.
Well, I feel the need to really state what's on the line here because it is easy to lose sight of why this matters. And I think for a lot of Americans, they hear Iran and it's way off in the Middle East. And does it really matter to anyone? Well, here's what's at stake. Israel is a major nuclear power. They have at least 200 to 300 nuclear warheads. By all accounts, they have resumed their nuclear program to build more. They have hydrogen bombs, thermonuclear warheads. They are a fully equipped nuclear state, and they have been for many decades now. They don't admit it, but everyone knows it. Iran wants to be that, and they are led by mullahs who believe it is their religious duty to bring about the destruction of Israel and chaos on a global scale to effect the return of the sixth Imam, known as the Mahdi, who's in occultation or in hiding by Allah, awaiting to be unleashed on the world and set up a global caliphate. This is their belief system, and they fervently believe it. And Iran is not run by secular figures. The president is not the leader of Iran. It is run by the Grand Ayatollah Khamenei. So that's what's at stake. The Iranians want nuclear weapons, and they have made it quite clear, as you mentioned earlier, that they will use those weapons on Israel. That is why they want to develop them. That's exactly what's at stake. And if you think the economic situation in the last year because of COVID-19 has been bad, wait till there's an all-out nuclear war in the Middle East and oil production is shut down, and the whole activity of energy production and transfer through the Middle East and the Persian Gulf, it comes to an end for a year. You'll find the economic impact is pretty darn severe to the average American.
Ben, how long has this Ahmadi guy been in hiding?
For about 1,200 years or so.
Okay, so my guess is he's probably dead and he's not coming out of hiding, that this is something like going down the rabbit hole with Alice in Wonderland or something, huh?
Well, you have to have the right religious belief system. I do not share that belief. So yes, I think that guy died quite a long time ago.
Okay, Frank, I know you're chomping at the bit to get back in.
You know, if we're talking about Iran specifically, let's understand that Iran's version of Islam is one that was a warrior culture, one that expanded at the point of a sword. And Iran is faithful to that heritage and will do it again. If we're talking about foreign affairs as a whole, let's understand how compromised this administration actually is. Biden owes his family financial fortune to China. He is not going to confront the people who have made him rich. At a time when Russia and China have combined to form the strongest military alliance ever to confront the United States, an alliance that is directly aimed at the heart of this nation. Biden is already talking about cutting the defense budget. One of the areas that doesn't get talked about very much is the crumbling of the American nuclear deterrent. It is antiquated, it is old, it has to be rebuilt. President Trump started that process. Biden now is saying he's going to stop that process, which is going to leave us extremely vulnerable to this China, Russia, Iran, and North Korean alliance. We are in deep danger. The Biden administration doesn't even want to recognize it. Let's understand, too, why the Democratic Party dislikes the defense of the United States. Their entire election model, their political survival model, depends entirely on providing more free stuff. When you spend money on things like defense, that gets in the way of the Democrats providing more handouts, more free stuff. To them, the success of their party, the Democratic Party, is far more important than the success and the safety of the United States.
That was Frank Vernuccio. He's with the American Analysis of News and Media. You can find Frank at usagovpolicy.com. Ben Brunson, the author of the Falstaff, Enigma, and Esther, Sling. You can find his books at amazon.com and benbrunson.com. This is Inside the News. We're going to take a timeout. Oh, my goodness, we've just gotten started. We'll be back.
You're listening to Wehman, Brunson, and Vernuccio, Inside the News.